Hello and welcome to FPL Agony, here to make fantasy football less like hell. Game week 3 was last week, game week 4 is next week. So why are we here? Mainly because we're bored. Woo! No, in all seriousness, this is serious business because, you know, a couple of people, I'll just say this, 2 out of the 3 of us are thinking about using wildcards ready for when the international break finishes. And I know a few of you are as well. So this is the wildcard special. We're going to be going through drafts and taking the mickey out of each other and then probably not using the wildcard after Scott dissuades us. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's introduce our Cockney experts in residence. His favourite fruit is a grape, a red grape, because it's used to make claret. Reminds him of his great football team. Let's hear it for Scott. And here also tonight we also have someone whose favourite fruit is a pineapple. I've got no idea why. It's Signore.
Good evening.
Good evening, John. He's stunned silence after that. Right, if you want to join in with the FPL Agony League, the code is on the screen, E54QBG, and there's also a link to it if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Talking of which, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yes, we are. Thank you for the views you've been getting on that. The views? No, you don't view Spotify. You listen to it. So thank you for all the listens on that show. We love putting it out on there. Makes us feel slightly more professional. If you're watching live, please get involved in the chat. We read comments and questions out live on air. And if you're listening afterwards on one of the podcast services, you can get in touch with us on Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter, by the way. Or Instagram at FPL Agony. Get in touch. Let us know what you think. So, while we're talking about the FPL Agony League, let's have a look at the league itself. So, John is continuing to have a great time playing FPL. He's up to 2nd in the FPL Agony League. And, Signore, tell us a bit about the person who's in first place.
They've got a few more points than me.
Yeah, what else you got? So
an interesting team name, if you can pronounce it, Matt.
So for those who are not watching, who are listening instead, the team name at the top is entirely in Arabic, and because we are all quite uncultured, well, I am at least, very uncultured, I've got no idea what it says. But well done to you, who is top of the FPL Agony League, and thank you also very much for being a regular viewer. Yes.
Hang on. Did you just say some of us are not cultured?
I mean, I didn't say
exactly
all
what
of
that
us.
says.
Considering you said, hang on, and not pardon me, good sir. Right?
Hang on. Didn't even pronounce the H.
I know exactly what that says.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to enlighten us?
Yeah. Congratulations to Abul Yas, who is top of our FPL Agony League.
Abul Yas, well done. Have another round of applause. Scott, I didn't know you were fluent in Arabic.
Listen, you learn something new every day, lads.
Yeah. This Irons man is full of many talents. We shall find out more, I'm guessing, during the show. You can't see him on screen. I'm down to 17th. And if you scroll down, a bit more, but not as much as you had to scroll down last week, we have Scott, who's in 52nd place. His team, Control-Alt-Delete, doing quite well. Got 78 points. So that's pretty good. Again, I find myself a distant 3rd out of the 3 of us this game week. So that's why I'm thinking of pushing that old panic button. Once again, if you want to join the FPL Agony League, E54QBG, get involved. I want to talk about a few things that happened during the course of the week, if that's okay. Before we talk about wildcard drafts, I want to talk about deadline day, because the 3 of us were just kind of keeping tabs on it. I had the Sky Sports News. They did a free stream on YouTube. I was checking that out. And, that stream was a mess. But we got some... I mean, it was. I mean, there were some random moments where the presenters were talking and they didn't realise they were live. And I swear one of them said, "Oh, I'm sounding a bit boring tonight. I'm not really feeling it." And that's what one of them said. Can you imagine if we slipped up and our innermost thoughts leaked out onto this live stream?
What's that, Mum? Yeah. Just having this boring. 1 second. Sorry about that.
I tell you what. Actually, I've just realised we're not going to. We're going to go straight to something else because Farouk has joined us in the chat. Hey guys, hello Farouk. You might want to stick out for this next bit. I forgot. We're not going to go straight to the news stories. We're going to go to our oh dear teams of the week. I wonder who's going to feature. Let's have a look. Your timing is incredible. Let's have a look at these 3 teams. I think as you're here, we'll start from right to left. Let's have a look at the end one.
Amazing.
The timing of this is perfect. The third owner of our oh dear team of the week has just joined us live. Right. So let's talk about Auto Pick FC. Now, actually, it's not a bad team, but I do want to express my joy at the fact that you have Ivan Toney up front as your only striker in that team. I think that is absolutely stunning.
He's up there on his own.
Scott, do you reckon Ivan Toney's a good shout at this point in the season?
I've put on a bet that he's going to score at least 20 goals, but just not in the Premier League.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm sorry, but you know, why is it called Auto Pick FC? By the way, is there like an auto pick function?
Yeah.
In FPL.
Yeah.
That picks it for you. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So at the start of the year, if you want to get your rank a little bit higher, you got to log in earlier than other players, haven't you? If you're on the same points.
Yeah.
So people just go in, auto pick, log out, and then come back to it at a later date.
Oh.
But I think our good friend Farouk just doesn't change it.
I mean, it's not bad.
I think he had this team 2 years ago, though. So I think it's just auto pick every season and repeat.
I'd have to say this auto team pick is not too bad. I have actually just seen the third sub on the bench, which is Lukaku. Which is, again, I glossed over that. That's quite funny as well. It's got Wan-Bissaka, Robertson, Dalot, Saliba, Delete, Palmer, Saka, Easy,
Delete.
Delete. Well, it's your team, isn't it? Control, Delete, and Ivan Toney. Yeah. I mean, actually, some of those players are quite good. So as an auto-pick team, it's pretty good. I don't know if there's an algorithm on the auto-pick to make sure you actually spend quite a lot of that 100 million. I don't know. But well done, Farouk. You make it on to one of our 3 oh dear teams of the week. Well done to you. I want to take a look at Jeremy D'Souza, your team, Ace of Spades. You've probably got 15 million at least left in the bank here. You don't have a single premium. I just love the confidence of someone who wants to play 5 in defence.
In FPL.
In FPL, 5. I mean, that's pretty stunning. Have you ever played 5, Signore?
No, I don't think I have. Ever. Only when I'm bench boosting. Only when I'm bench boosting. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with this team.
It's not a bad team. Do
you reckon?
There's going to be like a couple of players that will score points every now and then, but it's not going to be a consistent team, is it? I mean, It's got Isaac and Watkins up front. It's got Foden, Gordon, and then he's got like Gabriel and Saliba and Porro. It's not a bad team. It's just oh dear on this occasion, isn't it?
I think so, but I mean, it could do with a premium of some sort in that team. I mean, I'd actually love to know, looking at this team, how much money they have left in the bank. Maybe they're just going to build up their 5 free transfers and just go on a crazy shopping spree. I don't know. But I want to say, I'm saving the best till last because I don't hate to use this term, but the loser of the week with the lowest points total in the FPL Agony League goes to Red RL. You got 35 points. And I put this team here because of the points tally. But actually, when you look at this team, Scott, it's not too bad, is it? Really, looking at it. And actually, this team probably did quite well a couple of weeks ago. So we've got people like Saka, Madueke, Maddison, Jota in the midfield. That's a really strong midfield. Any thoughts on this team?
I like it. I do like it. The fact is, no premium. It's an educated risk, if you wish, to go no premium. But I don't know why you would have benched Robertson in that last fixture, though. And you've obviously got Udogie. I mean, he was the man last season. Not much has been said about him. I like the Saka captaincy because I think if you're not going to go no premiums, he's reliable. He's gonna, he's got a couple of assists already this season. And has he got a squad as well? Like, it's nice. It's a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And
just not this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when Robertson's on this team is second sub and has more points than the entire defence of this team. So a slight bench nightmare there. Also got Raya on the bench, which is a choice. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a bit of
I love
weird one.
I mean, is that 10.5 million spent on goalkeepers? How much is the Spurs keeper?
He must be 5. He was 5 last year.
That's 10.5. Wow. That is crazy.
Imagine spending 10% of your budget on 2 goalkeepers.
I mean, you're going to be close to it because if you pick 2 4.5s, it's 9. But I never go over 10 million on goalkeepers, I don't think.
Oh, you boys are so good at maths. Talking of which, a massive shout out to our good friends, Paula and Sahora, who are watching tonight. So, yeah, talking about maths.
Hey, welcome. You can have a round of applause and a DJ horn. Well done. Thank you for joining. We're up to 9 viewers, which is lovely. Let's talk about some of the stories of the week. We get a little tally. I'll tell you what, look, for the viewers no one knows this, but on my screen, it tells us how many viewers we've got at all times. It gives us just like a total of how many's viewing that, live. And it's always depressing when like I'm talking and I notice the viewership is sort of just starts to go down. So I try not to look at it. But anyway, yeah, there we are.
Remember the good old days when we had like 30 watching at once?
Has that ever happened?
Yeah, we've had a few 30s. Like we've had a couple of our streams have like 700 views, haven't we? Something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we did quite all right. Not bad. Let's talk about 3 stories of the week. I want to go back to deadline day and our friend Victor, who after the Ivan Toney news broke that he was off to Saudi, attention's turned to Victor at Napoli, and he's not going to play there. That's what we were hearing. He's not part of Conte's plans to play, so if he doesn't go, he's just going to be sitting there as a really expensive doorstop. And so Chelsea made apparently an attempt a few hours before the deadline. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. But he's going on loan to Galatasaray. Now, I've got something to say on that. And Signore, you came up with a little update about him earlier. So the update I had was that there's apparently, according to news articles, there's some sort of clause that would allow him to get out of that loan deal in January should a team like Chelsea or Arsenal come knocking again. And Signore, you mentioned something about him this morning. What was that story?
Was that his wages?
Yeah, go on.
So he was going to be on like ridiculous money, weren't he, in Saudi? It was like 40 million a season. And he's been given, for him personally, he's been given £5.1 million in wages for the year. That's like 100 grand a week, isn't it? Just over 100 grand a week. And Chelsea would have paid more. I just find it astonishing that he's gone there. Maybe the loan term didn't work out. I don't know.
What do you reckon? Scott, do you think he'll arrive at the Premier League?
To be quite honest, when I saw he had signed for Galatasaray, I thought I saw him in work today, to be honest. I wasn't sure. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, he came out like Victor Von Doom, like Robbie Downing Jr. with his mask on, just presented himself as a surprise. Like, This guy
I thought he was
seriously.
covering a
Come
lesson.
on, man.
But to be honest with you, I think he'll be gone in January. It's just it's just like a gap year, a gap 6 months, and he'll get his big move wherever he ends up, whether it's at Chelsea or in Saudi, because there's a break clause in the contract. So this is just a standard, like, let's just get through the next few months, in my opinion. Anyways.
Yeah.
Wild.
We shall see. Are you excited, Signore, about the possibility of him joining Chelsea, or are you not sure?
Yeah, I mean, needed another forward. Can't just have Nick Jackson. Seriously, I like the guy in everything. He works hard, but we needed another forward, and there was two that I was excited about. The one I really wanted was Tony, like you.
Yeah.
But Osimhen would have been the next one, and he hasn't come. I just find it astonishing.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a heartbreaking transfer deadline day, I have to say, when the Ivan Toney news broke. During the week, we released a video which was talking about Chelsea's title chances, and we released it last Saturday, and before that, last Friday. And would you know it? Deadline day happens. Ivan Toney doesn't sign for Chelsea as we predicted in the video, and we drew to Palace. So that was the shortest. That was the video on our channel with probably the shortest relevancy we've ever made. We've just, before we get to the next story, we've just had some amazing advice. I don't know what you think about this, guys. AA in the chat has just said, just triple captain Haaland.
If you still got it, why not? Do you know what I mean? This guy's on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what Man City's next game is, actually. We'll have to look it up. Maybe one of you, maybe someone who's watching can look it up. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Let's go to our next story, though. I'm the wrong way. So I wanted to talk about Mo Salah. I think this is potentially a pile of nothing, but it did. I was looking for stories during the week, and I came across this. So apparently, no one's talking to Salah yet about a new contract. And what's he going to do?
Go Salah.
I know. I'm loving that. For those that can't see, if you're listening to one of our fabulous podcasts, the title to this segment is Go Salah.
It's very
and Salah looking very confused.
I feel like
doesn't show that image, does he?
I feel like I was working for the Daily Mirror when I made that slide. Liverpool aren't going to sell Salah, are they, Scott?
No, I mean, he was very smart to go on to a post-match interview and say that, because as soon as it come out, he said that. The next day, it was like, oh, Liverpool planning contract talks. They can't let him go. I mean, I saw a few things on Twitter, which I've been looking at this my screen here. A few people saying they're going to watch, or, I've sent in a wildcard draft, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That they was discussing about the fact that he is potentially in the top 3 greatest Premier League players. And that's a big call. That is a big call. That is a big call, to be honest. But what he's done at Liverpool, I mean, there's a case for it, to be honest. I mean, we have had some seriously insane players. But in terms of, like, coming from abroad and whatnot, I don't disagree.
In the top 3?
I think it's a bold call.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
FPL, or do you mean like Premier League?
I don't know. This is what I've been reading.
Wow. What, better than Emil Heskey?
FPL wise.
I was going to say Lukaku, but okay, fine.
Lukaku, yeah, brilliant. Or Demba Ba.
He's up there though. I mean, would he get in your all-time Premier League 11? That's the big question.
Oh, that would be a fun episode, wouldn't it? To do that, I'll have to do that at some point. All-time Premier League 11.
Maybe he'd be on the bench.
On the bench?
Maybe, yeah. They had a lot of good players in the Prem, man. Come on.
Okay, so we do an episode at some point linked to all-time Premier League players. Are we doing it together or are we doing it separate?
Wow.
It's not though, is it? Because we've got forward to.
Wow. Okay. Well, that would be a lot of fun. Blimey. If I do an all-time 11, I'm definitely having Barthez in goal because some of his antics back in the day for Man U were incredible, man. Oh, I used to watch football 20 years ago, believe it or not, back when it was first invented. And yeah, man, I remember seeing. Actually, when you play at Man U, it's longer than 20 years ago, wasn't it?
It was certainly after the World Cup, weren't it?
Yeah.
When they won it, France. I mean,
some of the stuff he used to do, it was quite funny actually. I might put him as a sub, just for nostalgia. Maybe our friend Asmir gets a look in as well. So yeah, we're thinking then Signore, Salah stays.
Yeah, I think I don't know why he would. You know, maybe I don't think he would move for money.
Really? Okay.
Honestly, I don't think he'll move for money. I think if he moves, he's trying to build the profile in Saudi.
Yeah.
That's why I think he would go, because he's just never been that way inclined. He does a lot of charity work. You know, like he gives a lot of his wage away, you know.
Wow.
But he's on phenomenal money.
Yeah. But I think the consensus is if he did leave Liverpool, it's probably for Saudi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the time of him moving to like Bayern or Barca or Madrid, I think that those days are gone.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Do you remember the days when Salah and De Bruyne played for Chelsea, John?
Yeah, they're cameos.
Listen, I'm saying nothing.
Oh, to be a Chelsea fan. Before we get to the next bit of the show, shout out to Halal Gaming who's joined us today. Hello, welcome.
Nice image.
Up to 12 viewers, by the way. This is amazing. This is the most popular show of the series so far. Let's talk about deadline day. Let's return to that. And what I want to do is I want us to think about who our deadline day picks are. Like who moved on deadline day, who we think might be quite a good shout in
As
FPL,
an FPL option.
in FPL terms. Yeah. So I don't know if you've got something. I'm not sure about mine. I want to start with you, Signore. You felt pretty confident to kick off. So who would be your pick?
I said Sterling would interest me because I think if he can break into that Arsenal side, then he'll fit perfectly on that sort of left flank with Saka on the right, Havertz down the middle. I mean, it could really work for them. I know they've got Martinelli, but he works hard but seems to have dipped in form. They haven't really got someone on that side, so he could be interesting. But will he be more of a European player? But I really think the one that for me would be like James Ward-Prowse. Starts playing, he'll be on set pieces. He always chips in with some goals and assists. He could be the one to look out for in just those deadline day picks.
Okay, it's
Don't really want to talk about Ward-Prowse leaving, to be honest. Bit disappointed because you say that you sit there and say, "Oh yeah," once he starts playing, but he was a mainstay in that team last year for West Ham. You know, he was the most creative player at the club. I think he got 7 goals and 11 assists. Like he was by far the most creative player at the club. He scored a corner last season as well. It's because of the change of style of football. He's suddenly out of West Ham's plans because of Lopetegui. I mean, I'm just gutted. I'm genuinely gutted he's gone. And I think it's gonna come back and bite us at some point, if I'm honest.
James Ward-Prowse is 6.4 million, by the way.
Oh, was it really?
6.4 million. Not the transfer fee, I'm talking about on FPL.
Oh, right, got ya. I was going to say, that's good.
Yeah, it would be a bloody good deal.
Yeah.
If that was the actual money.
So it's not bad because there's a lot of like players that are worth it in that sort of 5.5, 6, 6.5 bracket. Sorry, I got distracted by what came up as a quote then, Matt. So
I'm just going to take a pause to say, hello, Mum, who's watching the show. This isn't a mum joke, but my mum says, I have no idea about footy, but I'm here to support you nice fellas. Oh, there we go.
With a wink emoji. Mummy kill.
Wow, that's a first. You also mentioned Sterling, 6.8 million. So they're the prices we're talking about here, really. Scott, who's potentially your pick?
Look, I spoke about it last week, but I genuinely think, look, Chelsea are saying, like, they could fill the first 11 of attacking players. When we looked at that screenshot from a well-known football channel or sports channel, and they had like 7 players lined up. They had left out Nkunku, sorry. They left out someone else. I can't remember if Modric was on the picture. But I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me. If he goes there and starts, I think Sancho could be an absolute astute signing for Chelsea. You know, we spoke about it. I was, the fact he supported that football club. And then he come out in that interview and spoke about his idols being Drogba and Lampard. And if he's got a point to prove in the Premier League, you're going to do that for your boyhood club, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's me, but this kind of screams a bit like Lingard when he joined West Ham. And he had something to do when he left United. And he tore it up for West Ham. I don't know. If you guys get your
Is that because he was a huge West Ham fan? He said his idol was Tony
exactly
Cossey.
Who it is.
Oh dear, Scott's not happy. Sancho 6.3 million in FPL. So I don't know. Actually, talking of Sancho, on deadline day, my favourite tweet of the night was someone talking about. Let me just find the tweet. It's got a swear word in, so I'm gonna have to cover it up. This is from United Trey on Twitter, who says, "We gave them 60 million for Mount while they paid 25 million for Sancho. My blood is boiling, man. F off." So the Man United fans are clearly delighted with that transfer. 6.3 million for Sancho. Could be a good shout. We'll have to see what he does. I've got a pick, but I can't say his name. It rhymes with karate, and his picture's on the screen.
It's not a swear word, mate. You can say.
I would have given myself a laughter track for that one. Manya Ugarte.
Our new karate playing in FPL.
Is that? Did I say it right?
Oh,
I think
it was just a panic on your face that got me. Sorry, I need a minute. There was no attempt. It just rhymes with karate.
Well, I gave you a clue. Do you know what? I put his picture on the screen of the live stream just so you knew who I was actually talking about. But I was reading, there was this video that went out from Man U of Ten Hag and our friend Manuel walking along having a chat. And this really awkward exchange where Ten Hag goes, "He's going to give us some fight." And Manuel goes, "Who?" And Ten Hag says, "You." He goes, "Oh, I'm always ready to fight." Inspired signing.
He's Uruguayan, so he's ready to go, isn't he?
But 5 million. So that's why I'm interested. Because I'm interested potentially. I mean, we'll have to see if he actually plays and things. But we'll wait and see. But 5 million is not bad if you at a pinch, say you are one of these people who wants to have Salah and Haaland in your team. You need a cheap midfielder who might do something. Cheap and cheerful. What do you reckon, Scott? You look like you don't agree.
No, I mean, I don't look at his stats, but I don't think he's that kind of player, is he? To be fair, though, we thought about Casemiro. Wasn't there, like, the first season of Casemiro's time at United, where he started like picking up points randomly. He scored like 2 goals in one game or something. But it's just a budget enabler if you're really going to do that, to be honest. He's not going to...
Yeah.
He's not a forward player, is he? I don't believe, so...
To tell you the truth, I was going to talk more about Sterling, but then John stitched me up and talked about Sterling and James Ward-Prowse. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to pick someone different. Hence the panic about karate. So there are our deadline day picks. Now, let's talk about the main point of the show, which is wildcard. 2 out of the 3 of us are thinking about playing our wildcard. For those new to FPL, it's a chip that allows you to completely change your team, unlimited transfers for that week. And the good news is this year, if you use your wild card, you don't actually lose the free transfer you've been picked up in prior weeks, which makes the game really easy, I think. So
yeah,
I'm going to reveal. Well, let's reveal together who these people are. I am one of them. And could the other person thinking about playing a wild card please speak now?
I can speak now.
What is this? A game of like Big Brother or something?
Day 33.
Day 12. Matt and Signore are playing their wild cards.
If I'm not voting anyone out, voting someone out, I'll be out.
Scott, it's not you.
Oh dear, are you Scottish? You sound like it for a minute.
I thought that was his best Brazilian accent he's ever done. In all fairness.
Oh God, our minds are unraveling already.
A Brazilian. That is funny.
That's very good.
Right,
we're gonna look at Signore's wildcard drafts first. We've got 3 versions. They're actually quite similar between the 3 versions with just some minor changes. So we're going to display them on screen, but what I'd like you to do, Signore, is talk about the team that you are, if you're going to play a wild card, what you're most likely to do.
Oh, I think for the minute, the one with Nick Jackson actually could be the one that I go for. Just because I've heard João Pedro's been called up to the Brazilian squad, hasn't he? So he will have a late flight back to England. Brighton kick off quite soon after that. So there could be concern about his minutes, unless I bring in Welbeck. But I really like Luis Diaz at the minute over Jota. He seems to be getting in some better chances. He's like creativity's been better, so he could like get a few assists in there as well. And I think if I to get a bit more money in, I've taken Saliba out and put Raya in. I know Arsenal's next couple of fixtures are quite tough with Tottenham and Man City, but I've got the long-term plan in mind. And obviously our man Asmin's in there.
Oh yes, I know. That's
if I'm bringing in a £4 million goalkeeper, it's him. There's no one else.
Absolutely. Let's come on. Asmir Begovic, everyone, welcome. That's one of the key perks of playing a wild card, is you get to bring him back in, isn't it? I mean, it feels right. It feels so right. Scott, rate Signore's ideas.
Which ones are yours?
All 3 of them. He's going to pick the Nick Jackson team at the end.
Pay attention, Scott. Rally live. There's only a massive title saying Signore wildcard drafts at the top.
There is as well.
Oh my days.
I mean, every week I make this show, I make sure that I put in massive capital letters on the screen on the live stream. You know, what's actually going on. So, Scott, the team we're looking at is the 3rd team with Nick Jackson on. Signore's just spoken about his ideas. So, do you want to quickly look at his team and tell you what you think?
Yeah. I'm actually I think I would go for that one. Because even though, some of the players in the other ones, their fixtures change in a few weeks. So you could just bring one of them in, like an Embuemo, and then boom. You know, what a start of the season he's had again. And obviously now Tony's left, he can be in pens and stuff like that. His fixtures swing in a couple of weeks. You could just bring him in like in game week 12 or something. I like that. I think that's pretty solid. I think it's quite balanced. You're keeping Salah. Obviously you still got Haaland. I like the Luis Diaz pick compared to going for Jota, just because of just having it a bit of a change up. Yeah, it's decent, really decent. I think if I was playing one, it would be something similar. I would believe, apart from one or two tweaks. That's all right.
And I get to keep my free transfers.
That's mad, isn't it? That's mad.
That is quite strange, isn't it?
And then it will roll to 4, surely.
Yeah.
And 5.
Maybe it doesn't roll. It'll be locked as a wild card. Maybe it doesn't roll until the following week. Maybe.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you have to let us know. Or if I play it, I'll let you know as well.
Mm.
That's interesting. All to be revealed on next week's show, which is on Tuesday, I think. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Signore, I just want to ask, because you already had Haaland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you already have Salah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
And you're doing really well in FPL terms, not just the FPL Agony League, but you're doing well. So can I ask, why are you playing a wild card?
I don't know if I will. I think I need to make a couple of tweaks because the fixture swing has come around for a few of my players. I don't want to miss some players in certain teams. So I'm either going to go sort of a Brighton or a Chelsea forwards, and it can only really be Palmer or Jackson because I think they're guaranteed to start. With Brighton, I either go Mitoma or Minta or Welbeck now over João Pedro because he's called up to Brazil. So I don't want to miss those boats. I mean, the Brighton guy, not Brighton, the Bournemouth guy. Help me out, Scott.
The Brighton guy. Semenyo.
Yeah, him.
I mean, I don't know.
No, because he's on form, isn't he? But his fixtures are quite difficult. Don't worry. So his fixtures are quite difficult, but he's 5.5, another good, nice, cheap midfielder, and he's playing all the time, it seems. So, yeah, I mean, one thing I did consider, instead of Luis Diaz, is to double up on that Liverpool defence. They've not conceded a goal.
Ooh.
But I've not done it yet.
Do
you know what is quite nice about this as well? Because I know they're not happy about it, but Robertson and Trent, they're playing, keeping clean sheets, and then going off with like 10, 15 minutes to go. So even if Liverpool concede late, you're keeping your clean sheets.
Oh.
So that's a consideration.
Oh. We need a sound effect of people just going, oh, because that was a good one. God.
I think you two done a great job there. So.
We'll just do it live.
Just called us.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. If you do it, it'd be quite exciting. But I did when we was having this discussion, because you're doing so well, I did think, why are you doing that? I'm in a slightly different position, I probably should play it. Go on.
No, I was just going to say that I've kind of tinkered with some transfers whereby I use my free transfers, potentially take a -4. But I can't quite get the team that I want, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I need those other couple of transfers, because you can see there's at least 5 in there, in each one, I think, to make it work. So that's kind of my thought process behind it.
I just look at that and it says cost 12, cost 16. I just look at it and think, is that worth a wild card? Personally, it's not for me. And I don't know, I'm not saying take a -8 at this stage of the season. I'm genuinely not saying that. But if you're willing to take a -4, over the course of, say, 8 game weeks, let's just say 8 game weeks, that additional -4 will surely pay off if you're bringing a player that's got a good fixture swing.
Yeah, I'm not saying
take -8. I'm not saying take -8.
Don't do a Salah after game week 1 and play a -36.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look at it and you're saying -8, and then you've got a draft with a -12. -12 is not worth a wild card. Quite simple.
Yeah.
So a -8, I don't know. You've had a great start, so you won't want to lose your points. But I just think I wouldn't be playing well with that.
I think you might have successfully talked Signore out of using a wild card.
Or has he secretly Jedi mind tricked me again? He wants me to play it.
No, not anymore. I got my 15-minute time. It's fine.
Those 2 AM vibes, though.
God.
I didn't ask you to pick Cresswell. We're not going to talk about that.
It's going to haunt me for the rest of my FPL career.
Yeah, that was a fine choice, I have to say. Well done, Scott, for stitching
Luke
them
Shaw, who then went on to score twice and 4 assists and clean sheets galore. Or
For
Cresswell.
the same price.
For the same price.
One day we'll get Aaron Cresswell when he retires. I'll go and speak to him at London Stadium. Like, come on the show, mate. We've got a story about you.
Nah, brother, it killed me. Honestly, it just.
So Signore's team's quite healthy. My team did all right. Actually, did well for the first 2 game weeks, and then not so well. I got 71 points. So again, it's not a disaster. But I don't have Haaland. Haaland scored 2 hat-tricks in a row. And it's making me go, I probably need to get Haaland. The problem that I have is that I've got 3 free transfers. But my defence is really expensive. I've got 4 expensive defenders. I've got Saliba, Trent, Pedro Porro, Gvardiol, and obviously that traitor Barcelona. So I've got a really expensive defence. That gives me a problem because no matter what I did when trying to get Haaland in, I find myself needing to use way more transfers and way more things to knock everything around. So I'm going to talk you through my thoughts. I've got 2 wildcard drafts on the screen. They're virtually identical. The only difference is, do I play Rodgers or do I play Ahmad? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to get your advice. Now, the cost is slightly different. It's 24 cost. Now, at the moment in my team, I've got Havertz and Isaac up front. And I've got an injured, useless Slinky on the bench. The up front, Haaland, obviously. Pedro, who's been doing great at Brighton. And Delap. Now, I'm really glad to see Delap back. It's been a while since he was doing those excellent throws for Stoke City. Finally, a joke that landed.
On a serious note, is that seriously not his son?
Is it? No, it can't be.
I think it's his son.
Hang on.
I'm on it.
Hang on. I've got his Wikipedia page open already. Oh, we need to find this out. If this is like...
I'm on it.
Nonsense.
No, I'm on it. Let me find out.
All right, you find out and I'll talk through the scene. Oh my God,
my days,
I know the answer! Go on, Scott, you can say it.
This is dad. It says parents. Yeah. Look, I don't know if he's got another parent, but all it says, parents, Rory Delap. That's all it says. That's all that matters.
That's fantastic. Wow, this has been an educational experience. Who'd have known? But anyway.
And next week, we have Rory and his son on the show.
I'll tell you what. I wouldn't want to be Rory Delap's dog. When he throws that ball, he must go, no way. You're joking, man.
Run for 3 miles to go get it. Oh, dear. So I made a joke. It was a good joke. And then we found out, actually, something quite beautiful. Thank you. Well done. Anyway, the Laps had a good start to the season, I think, actually. Picking up points and actually quite popular in terms of getting transferred in to cheap forwards. So, Delap, Haaland, Pedro being my front 3 that I will play. In terms of And midfield, I've kept Salah, I've kept Jota. Maybe keep Rodgers or switch to Ahmad. But I'm bringing in Madueke and Mbeumo. Mbeumo is a player I haven't had for a long time. You know, when I used to have that pairing of Mbeumo and Matoma in my midfield, those beautiful glory days of just guaranteed like decent points every week. But Mbeumo's had a good start. Seems to be, you know, picking up the points for Brentford. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going for the icon that is Kilman in defence. West Ham superstar. Keeping Trent, keeping Porro, bringing in Veltman, 4.5, who I've been all right with. When I've watched him play, he's been all right. He's not picking me up points, but we have to remember this is a bench option. You're giving me faces, Scott, but he's on the bench. And Keane at Everton. Keeping Raya and bringing in King Asmir as my second goalkeeper. So, Scott, you were pulling faces through some of that. Talk me through it. What have I done?
No, not like that. I get the bench option, and I agree. But could you just take that down to okay, I didn't notice that King was 4 million. Okay, you've got a 4 million defender in there. Okay, fair enough. I like the Kilman option. I think that's fantastic because he's actually become my first choice centre back, and he's playing. I mean, he's been fantastic for us. Generally, probably one of our best players all season so far. He's a ball playing centre back. He is getting up that pitch. He's also already got an assist so far this season. If it wasn't for Bowen becoming West Ham club captain, I genuinely think Lopetegui would have made him captain of the football club because of his time with him at Wolves. He made him captain there. He trusts him a lot. Paid a big fee, 40 million. I think it rises up to like 45 or something like that, or at least 40 million. He's obviously one of the reasons why we was able to let Zuma go and Aguerd on loan, keeping Mavropanos out the starting lineup, and Todibo, who we also brought in. I like that. I would just go, I think, Rodgers over Ahmad on that draft.
Yeah.
Because I just think that I don't know how long Ahmad will be starting for United game week in, week out. I think with Rodgers, Emery is loving this guy. Loving him. His quotes on him. It's like he's his golden boy now. He's getting 90 minutes compared to Watkins. He's playing up front with Watkins. I mean, I know he's not got any points yet, but it's going to come sooner or later. And it's going to be one of those...
close to getting points because he has put in
100%.
some through balls and they've just not been finished off. So, yeah, I think Rodgers' time will come.
I'm not saying a Hall's going to come. I'm not saying a Hall's going to come. But I think he's going to start. He's going to start returning. And next season, he won't be a £5 million player, in my opinion. And I would just swap him in. And I know we said about Signore not bringing in Mbeumo this week or this game week. But I think it's good if you're playing a wild card, just bring him in if that's what you want. I think he's gone up now. So obviously you need to look at your bank, your money options and stuff, because I think there's a few price changes, so it might not exactly work. But the only one I would say is the Veltman one. Not because he's playing for Brighton. It's just I think you could have another bench option potentially and not having to worry about a bench and headache. And then it also gives you that flexibility with the Madueke pick. That who's going to be in favour. Who's going to be favour of the month in a week's time.
Yeah.
You know, if he does well for England and he gets a start and he gets to play under Carsley, then fantastic. If he doesn't, he might come straight in. You just don't know, do you? And I think you're just leaving that option open, and I like that. Because if you get some news before the deadline, like, oh no, Maresca's saying, oh no, Sancho is going to start this game. I had him at City. I know him really well. I want him to be starting every game. Maybe not straight game week 4, but it gives you that option open with a Chelsea asset, and I like that. And you could potentially even play around with your Liverpool asset and Jota as well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. The only thing I'll be like, I know Porro's playing up the pitch, and I think that is a fantastic option as well. But if you're looking to save some money, potentially looking at Pedro Porro out, but he is playing as an attacking midfielder at points in a fixture. He had the most shots out of a Tottenham player in their previous fixture. scary when you've got got Son there. You've got all of that.
I actually like the Veltman pick because he seems to be picking up bonus points. The one I've got tendencies about in your team, Matt, is actually Keane. Everton are just leaking goals for fun, and I think there's a better chance in Leicester keeping a clean sheet with one of their 4 million centre backs.
Yeah.
Or there was another £4 million defender that's been playing like one of the more attacking Southampton wing backs, for instance. Like I think they've got more chance of returning than them. That's all. Everton, I think, are well in trouble. I know we've done the fixtures in our first show. Not fixtures. Predictions of where teams will finish. I'm really worried about Everton now, So
it's incredible, isn't it, what's happened.
Just play Asmir up front. It'll be fine.
Oh, he's already got a goal in the Prem, hasn't he? He's got experience in that department.
Head it in. He's fine. Would be absolutely fine. A very quick shout out to Dill who's joined us. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. The FPL boys are back, loving it. Great. Thank you for watching. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at my teams then. Okay, I'll go with option A. That looks really good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now, we've got a couple of teams to look at because you sent me some viewers' teams. So we'll start off with FPL Webby. Is this a wildcard team? This is a wildcard team you sent me, Scott, wasn't it?
Yes. He messaged me shortly before saying he's not sure about the Pedro pick now. The João Pedro pick. That's the only one. So, yeah.
Okay. So, Lewis, Robertson, Trent back 3. Rodgers, Salah, Easy and Minty in midfield. Pedro, Haaland, Havertz, front 3. What are you making of that, Signore?
Do you know what? I think there's a lot of balance in that team. I like the 2 goalkeepers that he's got because they've got nice rotation between Brighton and Brentford. And I know in Brighton, they've always had this policy of rotating their goalkeepers. So if he doesn't play, it's not the worst case scenario that you've got the Brentford goalkeeper in there. That Liverpool double up, like I was saying, I think that's strong. And yeah, there's a couple of Brighton forwards in there. And I think they could really let loose in the next few fixtures. So I think that's a good team,
Yeah. You're right. That word balance is absolutely applicable here, isn't it, Scott? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job here, to be honest. I mean, depending obviously on... It's just that Davis pick. I'm not too sure at Ipswich. I know it's just an enabler, but... I think it's a really good balanced team. It's mad, isn't it? Because originally we was all like, oh, Salah or Haaland, which one? I still think you can make quite balanced teams with both of them in. And I felt like last year it was quite difficult to do that initially. It was really weird because obviously I made a case start of last season, no Salah this year, no Salah, 13 million, too expensive. I made that mistake. I went for an early wild card and brought him straight back in and not taking that risk. And I've, we've all started, well, 2 of us have started with both of them this season. I like it. It's mad that you can get that.
I saw something on social saying that there was only something like 28% of all the managers that have gone for both them from game week 1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought that was quite a good stat.
That's a good stat. Okay, let's take a look at our second team. This was sent to John on Instagram. Continuing our cultural awakening on this show. Assalamu alaikum. Did I say it right?
I thought you did, yes.
Was it Scott? Come on, don't give me that look.
I'm not saying anything this time.
You're the professional. That's the name of the team or the person who sent it through. So we have Ramsdale, Turner in goal. This is the whole squad, by the way. So I'm going to go through all 15. Ramsdale and Turner in goal. Vardy, Burn, Matt Maserati, Konza and Gehi at the back. Nelson, Smith Rowe, Saka, Salah and Rodgers midfield. Haaland, Pedro and Havertz up front. Scott, what are you making of that?
Yes, I like it. I like the Ramsdale pick, if I'm honest. I really like that. I think he at Southampton. I know we don't know about Southampton in terms of staying up, but like he is going to start every game. That's a permanent transfer. That's huge. I thought he was going there on loan. Like 18 million rising to 25. You know, he obviously has to play. And he will get saves. So even if they're conceding, he'll get save points. And even at this stage of the season, save 0.1 if you've got a couple of transfers in the bank and you can, instead of just burning one or rolling one or whatnot, I would bring him in. I really like that. I've got a lot of time for that. He's quite cheap, that United fella, the fullback who come in for Wan-Bissaka when he obviously joined us. Look, it's a good option for a United defender. If you're going to go for a United defender, you're probably going to go for him now, ahead of Dalot and stuff like that for the price. I like it. Geehy, he's staying now at Palace. He's conceded a lot of goals, but he's going to start every game as the new captain. Got Salah in there and Saka. Nelson's an interesting pick. Because can you see him starting every week alongside his old Arsenal buddy, Smith Rowe? I don't know just yet.
But I can see him playing. Whether he comes on as a sub a couple of times, I can see him playing. And he's a good player. He just needs minutes. Just like Smith Rowe. Yeah. He just needs minutes. So yeah, I think that's good. But there seems to be a copy and paste forward line everywhere we look now, isn't it? Yeah. With Haaland, Havertz, and a Brighton forwards. You know? I'm glad I stuck with Havertz from the beginning. I just had a feeling that he was extremely underpriced at 8 million. I'm just glad that he's in my team from the start.
So I'm getting rid of Havertz. Am I making a mistake?
Yeah, but you need money to bring in Haaland. And if you want to keep certain players in your team, I suppose you've got to.
Yeah. I don't know. Havertz hasn't been that good for me. What's he got? Has he got a goal? Has he got anything else?
He's got a couple of goals, a couple of assists. He's got more points than Saka, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not bad. Well, thank you to everyone who sent the teams in. Appreciate it, all both of you. And a shout out to Dill, who said I did pronounce it correctly. So thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. I appreciate that. So, it's that time of the week where we get to what is probably Scott and Signore's favourite bit. We're going to play a game of Who Are Ya? Now, Signore, you're leading 2-1, aren't you?
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, somehow you're leading 2-1. So for those who don't know, who can't see on the screen, Who Are You is a game where we see a blurred photo of a current Premier League footballer on the screen. We get 8 guesses for who they are. Every time we get a guess, it tells us whether we've got the correct team, age, squad number, position on the field, and so on. Okay, so currently, Signore is leading 2-1. Very exciting. I'm going to show you the photo. Let's see what happens.
I think I've got it.
Yep, we know that is. Come on.
It can't be.
We know that is.
Right. I'll tell you what.
I have my hand up first.
We can call this... No, you both kind of made the noise. We're going by the noise, not by hands. You both have to say the answer at the same time.
Oh, God. Are we going to go... Wait, are you going to count us in?
3? So what's going to happen?
Wait. Rules on count of 3.
Yeah, that's okay. I want to go through the rules. Relax.
Right, okay.
It's all going to be good. Okay. So, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, name. That's what you got to do. You ready? Here we go. Whoa. 1, 2, 3.
Embueno.
Brian Mbemo.
So you already said it first.
Quinta Embueno.
How did he say it first?
There must have been the delay.
I literally said it.
No, we say... Wait, hold on. I've got a hat trick of first-time guesses.
That's
I've got a hat trick of first-time guesses.
That's absolutely amazing.
The beard, for those that can't see the image, the beard just gives it away. I mean, it looks like I'm looking at Embueno without glasses on, right? That's how bad my vision is. But literally, the beard just gives it away.
Oh, that's just stunning.
It's a very distinctive
Scott
facial hair,
looks
isn't it?
absolutely broken right now. Don't worry, I'm going to award a draw.
I think that's fair.
Are you okay with that?
I think he is.
Yeah. Let me play your song too. There we go. You both get it. Well done. So we'll call that, 3-2 now. 3-2 to Signore going into game week 4, which is going to be happening next week. So if you tune in, we're going to do Tuesday, aren't we? Tuesday, 7:30? That's what we're going to do. We just decided live on air. Tuesday, game week 7. Game week 7. No, Tuesday, 7:30.
Game week 7.
Game week 7. We go a long way into the future.
Did like Marty come by here by any chance? No? Doc? Does Scott know we're talking about the Marty McFly? And
It's a bit too young for that.
Yes, Back to the Future. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Try it.
Yeah. He's seen the trailer. So let's do the sign off. Join us. Join
Of the musical.
Oh dear. Right. Join us on Tuesday at 7:30 British summertime, as we're going to be talking about game week 4. We're going to find out if I do actually.
We don't need to do BST
card
anymore. We don't need to do BST anymore.
Well, we do, because we have lots of viewers in.
If that were.
No, we don't anymore. We used to. Last week we had some viewers in the Dominican Republic for some reason.
And in Woolworths. But we did get to 16 viewers today, by the way.
We did. I had a look at that. So that's a bit of good news. We love that. Let's have a bit of a round of applause for ourselves. We've got through this bonus episode show. 4 episodes in a row. We are chasing the Reece James streak. If we get to 6, we've done it. So let's make it happen. It all starts on Tuesday. Make sure you join us. I'm going to hand over
and then
to Scott and Signore.
And then we'll have 6 months
you spoke about. You talk about game week 7. Game week 7's not going to happen now then, because we get to the 6-game streak and it's fine.
That's true, actually. I announced the game week that isn't going to happen. No. So that's what's going to happen. Right, I'm handing over to you both now to do the sign-off. Take it away, guys.
So join us next time, Tuesday to be precise, on FPL Agony, where we will share stress, anxieties.
And agony to make us love the pain of this game.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you had a great evening. Enjoy the international break. And we'll see you Tuesday. And what do I say? May all your arrows be England.